Hello, good evening. It's Lemurian Donna Carol. How are you tonight? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing very well, and I am basically on a project. Basically, I'm spring cleaning in the summertime, so I'm doing a deep clean of my apartment, cleaning all my crystal and china and silver and everything. So it's going to take a long time, but I love it when it's all done and you can see everything glistening in the cabinets. It's beautiful. So anyhow, I'm doing well, and I thought today that I would channel Archangel Michael because I haven't channeled him in a long time. So, and I know he's a favorite angel of many, many people, including myself. And he has very strong, loving energy as well as protective energy. So I thought I would bring him in. It's been hot here and humid. So I had to get my hair cut to get it off my neck because we don't have air conditioning here. We have something called swamp coolers, and they don't really do a good job at cooling off the place. So you're constantly sweating and you're constantly hot. So this year and last year, I just got my hair chopped off because it wasn't long enough to take off my neck, and it was just bothering me, the heat. So anyhow, I hope you're all doing well, and let's get started. So at this time, I'd like to bring in my highest and best healing and channeling guides. I'd like to bring in the archangels, Archangel Michael, Raphael, Ariel, and Gabriel. I'd like to bring in thousands upon thousands of warrior protection angels and rings around anyone watching this video, myself, and anyone that will watch this video in the future. Lastly, I ask that the Lemurian Mother Goddess come in. I ask her to make my words clear, accurate, loving, and truthful. And now we would like Archangel Michael to come in and bring a word of wisdom, bring words of wisdom to everybody here. And I'd like to say hello to Angelique. So I asked to leave my body, and I asked Michael to come in and take over my voice. Greetings, this is Archangel Michael, and it is a lovely evening where the channel is today, and I hope it is a beautiful night for you as well, or afternoon, or morning. I am very pleased to be here with you, and I know and I love all of you, as I have worked with all of you in the past. I do get around, as they say. My duties are varied, and I spend my time making sure that humans and angels who are doing their work, their soul mission, their light work, are protected and surrounded by angels who will keep them safe. Yes, it is true that I direct the protective services for the angelic legions and for my mother. The creator, or the creator God, the first being that came into existence, was in feminine form, and that being gave birth to all of the subsequent beings. Before she gave birth to us, she split in her energy and created her divine consort. And so this has been the case for eons of time since the beginning. So when the Mother Goddess had her first child, you would know him as Lucifer. Lucifer was the firstborn son of the Mother Goddess, also known as the devil or Satan. And I was the second-born son of the Mother Goddess. I remember the days before Lucifer left our realm, and there was nobody in heaven or in the light realms as intellectual, quick on their feet, creative, funny, amusing, or as competent as he. He was a bright light, and my mother doted on him because she was very, very attached to him. That was her firstborn, and she depended on him incessantly, as Lucifer's energy is one of light. That is why he is called the light bearer or the light bringer. So how it works to this day, and how it worked originally, was that the Mother Goddess was the epitome of love, divine love, unconditional love, nurturing, feminine, loving energy that gave birth to the world, not just this world, but all of creation. And her firstborn son that came out of her womb, Lucifer, the light bearer, is light. Light is his tour de force. Light is what he is. He is the communication, the cord of connection, the connecting energy between the Mother Goddess and all of creation. And this is his function. The deities, including myself, we have functions, offices, powers that are quite specific, and we have invested in these powers, and we have developed these powers, and we have utilized these powers and offices for many, many, many eons of time. So suffice to say that creation cannot exist without Lucifer's energy, and of course creation cannot exist without the Mother Goddess's energy. And they are both necessary to bring source to all of creation. But then Lucifer developed some hubris, some arrogance, because he was doted on by his mother, and he started to believe all of the good things that everybody said about him all of the time. And he left, developed his own kingdom, cut himself off from source, from his mother, from the Mother Goddess, and fell in density or dimension. He became very dark because he cut himself off from the love of his mother. And they have been battling it out ever since. And I, as the second-born son, saw how distressed my mother was when Lucifer left. She was agonizing over the fact. She was in agony. She's still in agony about the separation. And she has done and tried everything to bring back her firstborn, along with the angels, now demons, who followed him. So it has been a long, long struggle with many battles, some reconciliations, and many forays into the dark and into the light. So let me say that it has kept me on my toes, as I have had to battle my older brother many, many times to protect my mother. My mother is my God, my goddess, my love. I never left my mother. I've always been attached to my mother, and I love her and will protect her until the bitter end, to the very end, with all of my heart, soul, and being. We are very, very close. She depends on me for her protection and for her safety. And I pave the way for her in many dimensions, where she incarnates either as a male or a female, and where she works. She is always with me. I am her right-hand man and always by her side. And we have great love for one another. So I do my duties of protection and safeguarding and paving the way for souls that want to explore this multiverse because of the love from my mother. And through her, I love all of her children, all of creation, which is very, very vast, with many, many different beings and many, many different dimensions, because essentially the mother bestowed her children with the creative powers. And so all souls ultimately carry the God Force energy, which is an energy of creation. I want to tell you some good news. The mother, of course, incarnated as Yeshua or Jesus Christ 2,000 years ago. And in that lifetime, she was crucified. She died on the cross, and she did resurrect herself and ascend herself into a higher dimension. And this had the result of creating a pathway where damned souls that had no access to the light because they left so long ago, they forgot the mother. Actually, they were terrified of the mother because there was a propaganda campaign by Lucifer to create her into a monster. And most of the demons are terrified of the Mother Goddess, Jesus Christ, or any of the incarnations of the Mother. So they were not able to connect. They could not come back because of their fear and repulsion, as they were told many, many falsehoods about their mother from Lucifer himself. And so the mother came down as Yeshua so that she could sacrifice herself. And in this way, because of the blood, the codes are carried through the blood in humans, humanity, those souls that had no connection to the godhood or the God, no connection in a practical way, were able to come back to the light. New pathways were created, and beings that formerly had very few options were given new options to come into the light. And many souls did return to the light. Many souls from the demonic realms, from the very low astral realms, have come back into the light. When they come back into the light, they are escorted by me or my team, the warrior protection angels. And they are given safe passage so that they are not attacked by other dark souls if they make that choice to come home. And then they go through a very long process of rehabilitation, and they receive the ability to incarnate in human bodies and other types of bodies to assimilate more light so that they can grow in their soulhood and come back to their original condition. But the good news is that not only did some demons come back to the light, Lucifer himself, in some of his soul fragments, came back to the light. It is not well known, but the incarnation of Mary Magdalene was an incarnation of Lucifer. And yes, she was the highest disciple or apostle. She was the apostle of the apostles because she had more knowledge, she had more energy, and she had more power than the other apostles because of who she really was. This being in that lifetime reconciled and submitted to her creator, which she knew as Yeshua. In that lifetime, she came back to the light. And that soul fragment has been followed by several other soul fragments of Lucifer who have submitted to the mother, surrendered to the mother, asked for forgiveness, and came back to the light. And yes, Mary Magdalene was the first one. And several more have followed. So 2,000 years ago was a huge shift in consciousness just because of this fact. Just because the mother and her firstborn were not in opposition. They were not fighting it out. They had to work together. That's their function. She provides the love. He provides the light, which is the communication. They're always together, just like I'm always with her in spirit. So the fact that Lucifer came back to the light in one of his soul fragments was a huge deal in the heavenly realms, and there was much, much, much celebration. There's nobody that can work as hard as Lucifer. He is a busy bee. He can really produce a lot and get a lot done in a very short amount of time. He's quick. Fast, stealthy, clever, obviously. It's just that he used those abilities for darkness for many, many eons of time. But subsequently, since Mary Magdalene came back, there have been other incarnations of Lucifer who have come back to the light. And they have incarnated here, and they are working on evolving their soul. And basically, the mother and I are working on getting all of the soul fragments back into the light. That is not the case. There is still opposition. There are still fragments of this being who are very much imposed to the Mother Goddess and in direct opposition to her will and her divinity. But the fact that some of them have started coming back is huge. It's a step in the right direction. I wanted to explain how it is really working so that you all understand. This is not in the Bible. This is not in sacred texts. This is not well known, but the history of heaven and hell and all of the other dimensions is much more complicated than people would realize. So, when these soul fragments come back into the light, it is my duty in many instances to work with Lucifer. So he's very sneaky. He's very clever. He can do a lot of things and create a lot of trouble, and he's mischievous. And so when he comes back, it is my duty to not just babysit him and keep him safe, but to keep others around him safe as well, as he is very charismatic and has many, many, many followers, as you know. However, when he does come back, he is stripped of his powers until he can prove that he will utilize them for the good. There are soul fragments of Lucifer walking around on this planet right today. I can think of one that's female and one that's male. Exceptional souls, incredibly good at their work. Very, very, if you met them, you would know that there's something different about them, something amazing about them. And these souls are under my guard. If anything happens where they revert back to their old ways or get out of line, it is my responsibility to curtail their actions. So far, that has not happened. Now, When Lucifer comes back in his different soul fragments, I incarnate with him. Even in spirit, let's say he comes back as a small child, as a little boy, I would incarnate as a little boy as well, and we would be soulmates, brothers, friends, like we were originally. Because before he left, before life fell on Mother Earth, we were great friends. We were the best of friends. He was my older brother, and I looked up to him. I loved him, and he taught me many, many things. But because I am connected to my mother and soul source or source consciousness, I have much, much, much energy at my back. I am the strongest soul in the multiverse, physically. I am the strongest. That is my office, it's my duty, and it is my gift. And so Lucifer is not as strong as me. If we were going to go in battle, I would defeat him. And it is only because I am connected to that God consciousness source, and because this is my gift to the world. So I am not just his protector and playmate, I have to protect everybody else from him when his soul comes back to the light, and when his soul is still in the damned dimensions or the hellish realms. So I have a big job. It's a lot of work. I have many, many angels that assist me. And we have been, of course, not victorious in the fact that we want all of our brothers and sisters, all of our angels home. I knew these souls before they left, and I love them, and I want them home. And so this is our eternal quest. We are working relentlessly to bring these damn souls home. And the tide has turned, because once Lucifer started coming back into the light, many followed him. He is their leader. So I want you to know that if there are questions or concerns about me working with Lucifer, or turning the tables, or being with Lucifer, or people say I've gone to the dark side, that is not the case. The case is that he has come back to the light. We are working together. I am protecting him. I am protecting others from him. And we are rekindling our old friendship. In fact, there is an incarnation of the Mother Goddess, and she has 2 children, and those children are in animal form, and one of them is Lucifer and one of them is me. We are animals, and we are living together, working together with the Mother Goddess in one of our far-flung incarnations. What I'm trying to say is that we incarnate over and over again. We mix up our sex sometimes, depending on the relationship. But we incarnate over and over again in different dimensions so that we can work on our relationships, refine them, get to know each other again, and produce in harmony. The energy of the Mother Goddess, myself, and Lucifer is very, very powerful. It is a trine. It is the original energy. And once that gets healed and brought back to balance in all of its manifestations, creation will go back to its original perfection. And so I can never give up. And the Mother Goddess never gives up. She has been here so many times. So many times. Came down as herself in ancient Lemuria, and has come down many times subsequently, usually as a godhead in a certain culture or a deity. But she always, always comes back for her children, and her only goal right now is to bring all of her souls home, and especially all of the fragments of her long-lost son. So I wanted to explain these relationships a little bit more so that you had a greater understanding. I also want you to know that I am available to you at any time that you need help. I have many, many millions of angels that work with me. I have warrior protection angels that work with me, and they accompany other angels in their specific work. So cleansing angels will be accompanied by protection angels. Healing angels will be accompanied by protection angels. Teacher angels, education angels, we accompany them. So when you need help, you need protection, whether it's driving down the street and you don't want to be hit by anybody, or whether you're traveling to another country where it could be a little bit remote or dangerous. I ask you to invoke me and I will bring my energy into your field and I will surround you with blue light and I will protect you. And you can keep calling on me and I will send warrior protection angels to you morning, noon, and night. This is our job. This is our sacred duty. And we want you to be safe. We want you to be loved. And we want you to be educated. The secrets of the Mother Goddess, creation, the history of humankind, it's going to start coming out more and more and more as the Lemurian codes are brought into your reality. Because the Lemurian civilization was the high point of civilization on your earth as far as frequency. And so going back to that energy, tapping into it, and bringing those energies down to earth will bring the knowledge back. Not just the love and the abilities and the power and all the knowledge will start coming back. And so more and more will be revealed as time goes on. So I want you to know that this is my truth. It might seem a little strange or confusing to you, but ultimately this is how it is. We love you. We want you to be healthy, happy, and progressing back to your original spiritual home. We want you to be full of love, life, wonder, and joy. This is Archangel Michael. Please call on me when you can or when you need me. I will be there. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you all. Amen. And now this channel will come back. All right. So I want to thank Archangel Michael. I also want to thank him for all the times that he has protected me while driving and while I'm outside, because I get lots of entities that want to come in, and he deflects them for me. So thank you. I love you. I want to thank all of you. I'm wishing you well. I hope you have a great week. And please take care of yourself. And that's it. Namaste.